So good afternoon. This is Bill Berger, and I want to welcome everybody to our post-forum town hall. Just want to quickly introduce myself here. I'm Bill Berger, the president of Kiriworks. I want to thank all of you for joining our town hall. And before we get started here, I have a quick admission. I've been on a few customer calls recently, and as we all are sort of embracing the remote nature of all of our work, we're obviously making a lot of use of video conferencing. And if you're one of the folks that I've joined video conferencing but have failed to light up my camera, I'm going to show you the reason why that's been.
That's incredible.
It is a work in progress since February. And so I was trying to keep that a secret, didn't want to look unprofessional, unprepared for any meetings. So I apologize to anybody that I might have misled on the functionality or the functioning of my camera. So, so with that being said, I want to move into quickly our agenda here. I'm going to move fairly quickly through the items here and get to the substance of our discussion. So if I could, let me just, I will go through the agenda here. I do see from the attendee list, there's some new folks attending. And so what I thought might be useful as part of the discussion is to kind of go through quickly who we are, Kiriworks that is, for the benefit of the new customers that are on the presentation today. And then I'm going to go through some quick highlights and trends that we're seeing this year. From there, I'm going to pass that off to John Swisher, who is our Director of Solution Development. And John's going to talk about the Hyland Roadmap, rapid application development, and a few other takeaways that we had from Hyland's virtual forum a few weeks ago. So in the event you couldn't attend, we'll be able to cover off on a few key items there. For there, we'll pass it to Christy Runzer, who is our Marketing Communications Manager. And Christy will cover, do a little preview of the virtual CommunityLIVE event this year. And then from there, we will pass over to Greg Wheeler. And I'm actually very excited about this because I have yet to see this myself. But Greg, who's our VP of Customer Support and CISO, will preview our new Kiriworks support portal. And then we will go to Dan Ridley, who is manager of US Channel with Hyland. And Dan is going to provide a summary and description of the value behind Hyland's customer briefings program. And then after that, we're going to sort of open up the phone lines if there's any questions. And feel free as we're going through the presentations here, if there are any questions you have along the way, feel free to plug those into the chat. And Christy, I think, will be taking note of that and can review those at the end of the discussion. So from there, let me jump into real quickly here who we are. So from a corporate profile perspective, Kiriworks was founded in 1969. At that point in time, we were known by Security Microfilm and subsequently changed that to Security Microimaging Corporation. And then about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we changed to Kiriworks, believing that Security Microimaging Corporation was a mouthful and a little difficult to write out each and every time. But same organization, started in 1969 with headquarters here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I'm located. We've got a little over 110 customers, both in the US and in Canada. And those customers are supported by 40 Kiriworks employees that are located primarily in 2 offices, here in Milwaukee, where we got started in our corporate headquarters, and also in Cleveland, and have a handful of folks that do work out of their house, even in during non-COVID times. And so we're scattered primarily throughout the Midwest here. We've also been a partner of Hyland since 1997, and I might have this wrong, but I believe that might make us one of the oldest non-OEM partners of Hyland at this point, still in existence, that haven't been acquired in one shape, fashion, or form. Now, in terms of our customer base, customers by industry, and we tend to categorize by 6 different categories here. But you can see from this pie chart where we have approximately 40% of our customer base in the commercial segment. In commercial, we consider manufacturers and service industry type organizations. Then the next largest segment of our customer base is healthcare. And in healthcare, it's a little confusing in the sense that we do categorize both providers or hospitals as well as health plans or the insurance side of the industry in the same category. So 30%, about 30% of our customer base falls into that category. Then we have about 12, 13% in government. And then really where Kiriworks, or back in the day, Security Microfilm got its start was in the financial services industry, where we were processing long length and short length microfilm for banks that delivered their cash letters as backup. So that's really where we got our start about 51 years ago. And then the remaining 10% is scattered through insurance and education. And in this case, insurance is primarily P&C and life insurance and whatnot. So as far as recent highlights this year, I'm going to cover highlights and then a few trends that we see before passing this over to John. So as far as like 2020 and 2019 goes, Kiriworks is in the top 10 of Hyland partners, and I think we have been for the last 2 to 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. That we also are Hyland Platinum status, which is really a revenue target that we meet and have been over the last few years as well there. Last year, we received Hyland's Case Management Partner of the Year award. And really what that means is that was for our work in developing case management solutions using WorkView and workflow tools within the Hyland tool set. Along those lines, we released our 4th solution accelerator for healthcare plans. And what I would describe as a solution accelerator, for those not familiar with it, is we're really taking tools within Hyland, primarily here, the WorkView application and workflow, and pre-configuring, if I can use that phrase, a solution specific to an industry. So we've started out here and have started to develop a handful of solutions for the healthcare, specifically health plans. And since the start of this year, actually, we've gone live with 5 of these types of solutions, specifically here, appeals and grievances, with a 6th to start in November of this year. So we've been quite busy with delivery of those solutions. The other highlights here, we've increased professional services team by about 30% and have added folks with expertise and background in healthcare and financial services. Year to date, and I say this, you know, with full recognition of, I think, just generally what's going on in the economy and some of the things going on right now. But I feel very fortunate that we have, at least through July of this year, our revenue is up by just over 2% versus what we were doing in 2019. So feel very fortunate that as an organization, and in large part, well, in large and entirely due to the folks on this call and our entire customer base, that we've held our own. And, you know, I'll call this treading water versus last year, but I see that as a win considering what's going on. As I mentioned earlier, we are introducing a support portal to make ingestion and updating and availability of support cases easier for our customer base. And similar to what I think most of us have all gone through here in the last 4, 5, 6 months, we went through a full transition of all of our workforce to work from home.
Most of our workforce, Bill, as you're currently.
Yeah, sorry, that was another misleading statement considering the background here. I do, and I have been coming to work quite frequently. I think I can boast the largest office for a single person at this point. I'm currently working out of our 10,000 square foot Milwaukee office, and primarily I'm the only person that shows up here. So So as far as trends this year, and I identified a handful of things here just to point out, and certainly hope that this may drive some conversation in this call or otherwise. And I think some of the items in this list here are consistent with what we're hearing out of Hyland from a general sense in their reseller partner community in its entirety. But so far this year, what I could describe here is that our add-on module sales, so that might be things like if somebody wanted to add Outlook integration or an individual specific module to their existing on-base system, our add-on module sale actually is down year over year significantly. However, the demand and closing of what I would just call the larger new deals, primarily just net new deals for new logos, appears to be steady. And so we've seen that so far, at least in the first 7 months of this year. We've also seen a significant increase in projects and professional service requests to the tune of about 40% year over year from last year, or as compared to last year. And so I'm kind of curious as to if there's any feedback or input during this presentation and discussion afterwards as to maybe what's contributing to that. But we're sort of assuming that's the directives from a lot of executives these days are do more with what you already have, or if you don't have anything, it's time to purchase something to help improve the operations. This trend, or these trends, I should say, seem to be supported by at least some of the surveys that we're seeing out there right now in terms of organizations pursuing digitization of their operations and even next generation operating models. And as I show here, KPMG came out with some figures on what some of the CEOs are saying. It looks like around 75% of them are expecting to increase investment in automation and digital transformation. And around 70% also are saying they plan on downsizing their offices, over the coming years. And I think a lot of that right now is contributing to, both what we're seeing as far as requests from projects, as well as maybe the continued demand for these new systems in order to support what ultimately will be an increase in the remote workforce. And one of the positive things that actually came out today was that Mercer, which is a HR consultancy, came out with a survey that said 90% of employers say they have not lost any productivity as a result of moving people to work from home. So I think that's a positive thing going on right now, and I think is just only going to contribute to how our organization is supporting, folks on this call and our customer base in general over the coming years, as far as making your operations more digitally able. And lastly on that item, as far as Kiriworks is concerned, we have been working from home since March, like a lot of us. We actually, at this point have have in place not to return to work throughout the remainder of this year, and probably in all likelihood would not do so until June of 2021, again, based on circumstances, I'll say, on the ground. So at this point, we don't anticipate coming back to work anytime soon, which is probably not unlike a lot of the organizations here. We're also seeing a huge increase in the requests for movement to the cloud of existing customers. Our revenue is up 82% year over year there. We're seeing a lot of requests for Kiriworks to take over sort of the system, or the support of system administration, things like managed services, and take over things that are kind of less value add in your organization, allow you to focus on more of the high value tasks in these services. And then we also are, again, just a trend for this year, seeing substantial increase in staffing services, where customers have asked about this a lot in the past, but haven't jumped on. And recently I've seen a very large increase in placement of our staff at existing accounts, where we're basically a full-time employee of that organization working at their direction. With that said, I will pass this over to John Swisher.
Perfect. And I want to show. So we have a lot to cover. I'll try and go through everything as quickly as possible and still deliver all the key points. Like Bill said, one of the things that I really want to touch on is rapid application development, or RAD, if you hear or see that acronym. What is it? How do we get there? And one of the things that we always kind of reference with it is, are you utilizing spreadsheets today? Everyone is utilizing spreadsheets, but do we need more out of it? Do we need to take it to a place to add contextual data, activities, notes, tie those to documents? That's really kind of the starting point, right? So going from a flat spreadsheet into a purpose-built application that integrates with your documents, both data internal to OnBase or data external to OnBase, so your other line of business systems, but also allow you to navigate that object or that line in the spreadsheet through workflow the same way that you would your documents today, right? And when we think about RAD, or rapid application deployment or development, Hyland actually has an entire app builder team that specializes in building these out, right? And to help illustrate this, this is just a subset of the solutions that are available today within the application builder community. And the great thing about these is they're completely free. You can download them, you can import them into your existing environment, your test environment, play around with them, modify them, and again, they're free of cost. So if you don't know where to find those, reach out to us, reach out to your account managers. Be more than happy to walk you through all of these. What are some of the parts of what we're calling the application builder setup? For those of you already familiar with WorkView, this may be a quick refresher. But for those of you who aren't, this is your OnBase Studio, where typically in the past you would have configured your workflow life cycles. But now that WorkView is becoming more and more popular, we're seeing more and more additions to configuration ability within WorkView. And on the left, obviously, you have your WorkView queues and your life cycles, but you also have now your WorkView applications, their configurations within them. In the center, you have your application creation accelerator. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then off to the right, you have the ability to import and export data directly into or out of a WorkView application. So this is really good for that application deployment in a rapid fashion, because we can take all that spreadsheet data and import it right in through this tool. Now, what if we don't want to do that? What if we already have a source of truth, right? We already have a line of business system where we don't want to have to worry about exporting that data and importing it in a timed fashion. That's where external classes come in. So this is a feature within WorkView to where we can simply reach into those systems, as you can see here, in a number of different ways, so that we are always getting that most up-to-date data. We don't have to worry about maybe an import or export failing overnight, or a machine going down, right? It's always live data, and the application with the responsibility of being that source of truth can remain that way. A couple more features that WorkView has recently provided is your autofills. So you can make a WorkView filter, which is essentially an Excel spreadsheet in its simplest form, an autofill keyword set. So if you don't like SQL and you don't like updating those, this is really easy. It's all point and click, and that's kind of Hyland moving more and more towards, as much as possible, point and click configuration. The same thing goes for reporting dashboards. So I know a lot of folks on this session are already utilizing reporting dashboards, but prior to a few versions ago, you actually had to use SQL to report on anything WorkView. And now, again, you can utilize a WorkView filter, just point and click configuration, to bring that data into a reporting dashboard. Now back to the ACE file. So this is one of the things that I think is a huge enhancement that's happened. I think it was in version 18. Not a lot of folks are taking advantage of this, but what it allows you to do is configure an entire application via an Excel spreadsheet. Probably sounds too good to be true. It isn't. This is just a quick screenshot laying out along the bottom. You have your classes or your categorizations of object types, right? In this case, it has to do with student advising. Along the left, you have your different attributes or the equivalent of document keywords. And then throughout the center, you have the information about those data points. So what type of data is it? How long is it? How is it related to other points of data? What filters or reports do I want it in? What views? So if this is something you want to find more out about, please reach out to me, reach out to your account manager. We'll be more than happy to walk you through this. And the nice part is Hyland does actually provide a sample ACE file too. So if you don't know exactly where to get started with this, you can utilize their template to build your own. And it's fun just to play around with and import them into maybe a test environment, right? Next up quickly is the cloud. Now, I was personally surprised by this number when I saw it at the Hyland Forum. I feel like these two percentages are fairly low. I personally think 30%, maybe a bit low within the next 5 years. If you remember Bill's point to, I think it was an 82% increase year over year in interest in the cloud. So that's great. And with COVID, everyone's experiencing a new version of reality, right? So everyone's being challenged. Everyone's trying to meet requirements for secure access to information from anywhere, right? Everyone's working from home at any time. And a lot of organizations do want to take advantage of this, but they're not exactly sure the steps towards that, right? So what is done
May have lost John.
Yeah, I think we just lost John.
Oh, there he is.
John's come back. Hi, John. Nope.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you. We could hear you.
Oh, I think we lost him.
All right. Christy, why don't we jump to the preview of CommunityLIVE, and we have time to circle back with John at the end.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I will just quickly walk through a few slides, talk a little bit about CommunityLIVE. Unfortunately, we were not able to host our usual annual customer event. So we're throwing some effort towards CommunityLIVE this year. The bonus is it's online this year. Everything is going virtual, providing an opportunity for more folks to get engaged, more folks to attend, hopefully for you as our customers and also users to engage more people in your organization to be a part of CommunityLIVE. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on this year. When is CommunityLIVE? October 5th through the 8th, 2020. And it is going to be virtual. So anywhere you want to be, whether that's from home, whether that's in an office dynamic, you can access CommunityLIVE from anywhere this year. Something new for CommunityLIVE is there's 3 package options this year. And I'm not going to go through each one of these because you can at your leisure. Go to communitylive.com, check out the 3 packages. I think the one thing to make note of is the complete package is $13.99, the essential package is $7.99, and then there's also a basic free option this year, which again is a perfect way to get some folks engaged who maybe haven't done CommunityLIVE in the past, or that you would like to introduce them to more of your system and this opportunity that CommunityLIVE creates for the OnBase/Hyland/Kiriworks community. So if you go on the website, communitylive.com, you'll see a whole breakdown of what's included in each package, what the pricing is. I believe the early bird pricing maybe has come to a stop. I'm not too sure on that one, but it'll give you a whole list of exactly what's included depending on what you're looking to get out of CommunityLIVE this year. And as always, Kiriworks is offering some registration promotions available to our customer base. So this year, for each paid CommunityLIVE registration that your organization pays for, you'll receive a code and $7.99 off another registration. So basically, it's a buy one, get one free opportunity for folks within your organization. If you're interested in that, reach out to your account executive. They can work with you to make all the details happen and allow you to take advantage of that great promotion that we're running this year. One thing to highlight for Kiriworks, we are going to do our own welcome session for our Kiriworks community on Wednesday at 10 a.m. So we'll be hosting a fun interactive Zoom networking event. This is, if you've ever gone to CommunityLIVE or one of our events in the past, you know we try to find a happy balance of work and play. So this is going to be a little bit more casual, fun interactive event just to welcome you before the Wednesday keynote actually starts and everything kind of gets down to business. Also, too, throughout the course of the event, we'll have a customer meeting space on the virtual platform. So we're going to try to use it as a meetup. If there's specific folks that you want to talk to, set up a time to meet with, both on the Kiriworks staff or other customers in the Kiriworks community. This meeting space will be open for you to use. We'll have it staffed the entire time over the course of CommunityLIVE. So if you ever need assistance with anything or need to talk to a Kiriworks employee, there will always be somebody in the customer meeting space for you to have access to, chat with, or make that connect if there's somebody else that you would like to speak with. Just a quick quote from one of our customers about her experience with CommunityLIVE. I think the thing to note for CommunityLIVE, if you've ever been a part of it in the past, it's a lot of fun. It's very educational. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of networking that happens. And moving it to a virtual platform isn't going to change those things this year. We might physically not be together, but I think the same sense of community, of learning, of educating, of networking is going to be present this year. And doing it in the best, safest way that we can. So we hope that you'll reach out to us, take advantage of our promotions, join us for CommunityLIVE, take advantage of this opportunity to engage other people within your organization where there's no expenses associated with flights and hotels and food, but everything can be done virtually online and give them a little taste of what CommunityLIVE is all about. So let us know how we can help you if you need to go to the executives and talk with them about justifying the cost or the reasons why. If you'd like us to help you create an itinerary or a schedule over the course of the few days that CommunityLIVE is running, we're happy to do that. So let us know how we can help. We look forward to engaging you in CommunityLIVE and then also in our own Kiriworks events leading up to CommunityLIVE. Let us know if you have any questions and how we can help. And that's all I've got for you. So I think at this point, unless there are any questions, I don't see any questions, I am going to hand it over to Greg, who is going to walk you through the support portal.
All right, let me just get set up here a second. And then I think John might be muted, Christy. I don't know if you saw that.
Okay, let me, welcome back, John.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Do you guys see my email or do you see my presentation?
Presentation.
Presentation. All right. Oh, wrong screen. Hold on a sec. All right, guys. Hi, I'm Greg Wheeler. For those of you that I have not had the ability, sorry, hold on a sec. I'm on the wrong screen again. You're seeing my notes probably, yeah? Or does it look normal?
You're not sharing.
Hold on a sec, guys. I don't know. Computers are really hard. Just having a real hard time with them. Hold on a sec. Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry. You guys see my notes, or you see my presentation? I'm sorry.
Notes.
Notes. Oh, guys. So I shouldn't have plugged in another monitor. So let's just go through this real quick. All right, that look better? All right, sorry about that, guys. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Greg Wheeler. I'm terrible at managing my monitor profiles, but I'm also the Vice President of Customer Support here at Kiriworks. I've been with the company about 10 years. I am responsible for the customer care team. I feel like I've been in this chair for years now. I don't know if I'll ever leave this room. It's been a lot. I want to talk to you a little bit today about something that we're pretty excited about, which is our customer support portal. You know, like, and I want to just kind of go back a little bit. You know, back in the day, when you used to have a problem, like, hey, my car's making a really weird noise. How would you, say 20 years ago, how would you get help for that? You'd have to like hope you had a friend that was good at cars. You know, I'm assuming it's this guy on the right here. And you'd make the face at him on the left, which would just say like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble and I need help." And hopefully that guy had the time and energy and availability to help you. And if you didn't have that guy, if you didn't know that guy, your car would just make noises forever and you would not have a good car. And today we have so many more options for that, right? Like we can go and we can go and use a search to go find out symptoms of what my problem might be. We can follow guides that people have written in order to maybe troubleshoot what's wrong with our car. There are videos. We just watch a video and watch somebody actually do the same thing. I never want to go back to the old day. The old way of doing things was awful, and I really like the ability to do self-service and give it a shot myself to see if it's something that that I can handle. So self-service is a big deal. Self-service is something that we really we live by here at Kiriworks, and we're looking for ways to spread that out to our customer base to allow you guys to get the help and kind of meet you where you're at. Certainly COVID-19 has really made this even more critical because people are working from wherever, however, often with limits on who and where they can access things, and they just need to get the answers to the questions as quickly as possible. So as part of that, we're rolling out, and this is a project that we're working through right now. We anticipate it being completed by mid-September, and then we'll be sending you guys a message letting you know that it's available for use. But this is the Kiriworks support portal. I want to go through a couple of things of what this is going to do and how it changes from what we have today. This is something that, we recognize that our customers sometimes have repeat questions to us, sometimes have repeat questions from things that they've run into in the past. And we have documented, but they have to basically call us or email us to open up a case for us to tell them like, hey, by the way, here's how you fix that problem that you're having. Oh, your on-base system is making that sort of noise. Well, here's how I would typically approach that, and here's a guide on how to fix that. We're trying to cut out some of the steps and give you those answers as quickly as possible, maybe even without even reaching out to us. Maybe we can just have an article available for you. So I kind of want to go through this and kind of show you guys what that looks like today, and it's going to look a little bit different in the next couple weeks, but this is generally what you can expect. And this is a mobile first application as well. So this is something that is designed with whatever device in mind. If it has a browser, generally it will work with this and allow you to do all the features that we're looking at here. So if that could be your phone, that could be a tablet, it could be your work laptop, it could be whatever. It's appless. It's not something that you have to install. It's not something you have to install locally. It's just something you access on the internet, and then you can take advantage of this. So the biggest thing, and this is new for us, in fact, the team isn't even fully trained on this yet, that's why it's not live yet, is live chat. The ability from, in this case, your phone or from the desktop application to reach out to the customer care team and ask questions. This is available for all customers. This is something that, I'm really excited about, because it's funny when I talk to you guys to hear you apologize, like, I'm sorry I had to open up that case, but I just couldn't remember, in the 6 million checkboxes that are in on-base configuration, I couldn't remember which checkbox did the thing. And sometimes it's not worth an email and a back and forth. Is everything okay? Did they answer all your questions? Sometimes it's just like, guys, point me in the right direction, right? Chat is perfect for this. And just as a sample here, this is kind of what the interface looks like. You put in some preliminary information just like you would on any other chat application. And in this case, this is, the super customer that I have is asking, hey, how do I export, workflow between 2 environments? Like that workflow MRG, I think it's up to, it says 6,000 here. It's actually up to, I think, probably more than that now. It's up to a million pages. I don't remember where that button is. Just someone point me in the right direction. And you see, you get a quick response. Hey, it's, you'll want to do it from OnBase Studio. It's right on the home screen. There's an export button. You want to select maybe some life cycles or maybe other stuff if you want to, and you'll be on your way. This allows you to get your answer faster. Especially, I know that everyone I've talked to, from us included, is juggling many different responsibilities, and this gives you a way to get an answer and get on with your day, I think, a little bit quicker without requiring a full-on support case. And there may be instances where we open a support case, as a result of this, because maybe we need to move to email, but generally for these quick hitting answers, this is perfect. This will be available during our standard business hours. That's 8 to 6 Eastern, 7 to 5 Central. If nobody's available, you'll get if people are available, you get the button on the top. If nobody's available, you get the button on the bottom. So if you see that chat with us, just know that we're notified and we're looking to engage as soon as we can. But that's available, Monday through Friday, standard business hours. We look forward to hearing from you. Another thing that we're looking at is a knowledge base. This is preliminary. We don't have all the articles we want in there yet, but this could be anything from, in this example, hey, I want to manage how my users are logged in on the web server. I want to see who's logged in, and if there are any stuck sessions, I want to get rid of them. How do you do that again? I don't want to go through all the guides, and I didn't write it down last time you guys showed me, and I want to try to understand. This will give you the ability to, just some quick articles, click here, accomplish a task you want. This is searchable. If you start typing up a support case, it's saying like, how do I do this? You might get this article suggested to you saying, hey, by the way, did you know that you can do this right here? And we have pictures and everything. Our ultimate goal for this, and this is another example of just with Process Monitor. How do you use that again? What are my options? Or, how do I tell if a license certificate was applied? These are articles that we've written. There's more coming. But it's definitely something that allows you to get help whenever you need it, however you need it. It's searchable, and gives you a very concrete set of steps on how to accomplish problems that you might have with your on-base solution. We'll be expanding this more. We're actually, we have a decent amount in there. We have more on the horizon. They're just not written up yet. Ultimately, my goal for this would be video, and just be able to be like, hey, hopefully not me. You guys don't want to hear me talk, but have somebody on the team narrate. Here are the steps you need to do this task that you've searched for. So I'm excited about that too, because that gets you an answer even faster than we probably could, because we've already taken the time to write it up, and we just point you to the link. So excited about that. And then Also, one of the other things that we've been asked for years, and this has been something that I've really hated that we didn't have, and we now finally have the ability to do it, is just you to be able to manage the cases that you open with my team by yourself. So from that theory, there's a ability to log in. You see at the top of the screen there, it's kind of a blank gray bar going across. You click log in, you log in, and now we have a couple new options there. Where you can manage your account on the right and then create a new support case. And then also you can view existing support cases. And that works exactly like you think it would. Creating a new support case, it pre-fills in the information about who you are. You put in some information about like what environment it is, how important this is to you, description of it, maybe upload some files, log files for us to digest and dissect. And then, go ahead and put that out there. We can do this today to an extent, but it isn't as nice and it's not integrated in a way that you can see what you've done. The cool part about this is then you could then go back in and choose from this list here, the My Cases, and go and look at all the cases that are assigned to your company and their current status. And then, maybe put an update on there. Maybe, hey guys, I fixed it. Hey, here's a log file that, from the troubleshooting I was doing. Can this be escalated? Oh God, it's gotten worse. Please help me. Whatever you choose to share with us, you could write a comment on the cases and update them here through the portal. Some people like that. Some people like it through email. I don't care what you like. It doesn't matter. You choose the way you want to do it, and we can now handle that. So excited for that. I think it's long overdue on our side, and I'm excited to get this to roll out and have you guys start using it. Other than that, team's been, we see a pretty steady volume of cases. As Bill mentioned earlier, just from the customer care team standpoint and our managed services team, we've seen it's a decent amount of new customers on our higher tiers of support. I would say unscientifically, we've basically doubled the number of customers in the past 12 months that are utilizing the more advanced support services. For those that don't know, your maintenance services is what you get as part of paying your maintenance. It's email-based support. Generally, you can call.
Did we lose audio?
What's that?
We lost audio for a second, Greg. Sorry, continue.
Okay, you still with me? Okay. Maintenance services will be, as part of your maintenance, you get access to us, for email-based support. Support services allows you to pick up the phone and call us as much as you'd like, as much as you want to talk to us, and remote sessions, everything all included, just really for faster issue resolution and more direct service. And then we have our managed services tier, which is basically we act as the on-base administrator. A ton of interest in that. A big part of COVID-19 and 2020 and the chaos that's going on right now, a big part of that has been more responsibilities, people being shuttled all over the place. I'm working from home. So-and-so got furloughed. They used to handle this. They don't handle it anymore. We're seeing a ton of requests for just talking through what their options are. OnBase just keeps on churning in the background. It keeps on plugging away. But the people that are used to run it either are focused on other things, maybe aren't available anymore. It's definitely a challenging time to try to keep these systems running, and they're looking to Kiriworks for help. So my team's been seeing a lot of requests for that, and we're onboarding new customers on these different service tiers, monthly. So that's kind of what we've been working on. Just other than that, I haven't been to a restaurant, I think, since February, and I hope you guys are all staying sane. Thanks.
Greg, couple questions before you sign off.
Sure.
First, if you could just quickly reassure the attendee base that your dog is okay.
My dog, Bella, is a Basenji Pit Bull mix. She's older now. She's 12, and so she sleeps a little bit more. And sometimes, like in the most random play, like I have no control over this.
We just had some folks wondering if she was okay back there, if she was just sleeping, or if you needed
I don't know.
to tend to
Her tongue is out of the top of her mouth. It's really weird.
So a couple other questions. Can users see only their own cases?
You will be able to see cases for people that your company has opened up. So if you have like 5 people in your company that might open up cases, you can see all the ones that your people in your company have opened.
Good question. Second question, in the knowledge base, is PHI HIPAA scrubbed?
We would never allow PHI information in the knowledge base. And as policy, we do not allow it in our cases either. So if you were to send it into your case and we found it, we would delete it and ask you to remove it as well.
Okay, and last question, does the chat session open a ticket with the chat log and close the case?
We have the option to open a case or not. Some things make sense to be a case, some do not. It can go either way. The policy surrounding that is actually, we have a meeting on that coming up, but the policy surrounding that is likely most of those would be cases because we want to just track it and make sure that we have a record of it. But it depends on what the question is, right? If the question is your dog okay? I might not make a case for that. I might. You never know.
Okay, and last question, is the user alerted when their message has been read?
Oh, from a chat standpoint or from a case standpoint?
Chat standpoint.
Chat standpoint. You'll see it typically, you'll see typing, but it won't do read notifications. I just had a quick screenshot. It's right here. Like you'll see the 3 dots bouncing around. It'll tell you that there's someone, looking to type a reply and that someone is there working on it, but it won't necessarily tell you that it's read. No. It's a good idea though.
And how long should someone wait before calling in?
If it's critical, I always say call right away, right? If it's production down, please call us. The email is not really critical. Chat's not really critical. If you're down, please call us right away. Like we want to know right away so we can get the right resources engaged as quickly as possible. So that, if you put a high priority case in, once we see it, we'll handle it. But I mean, I want to know as soon as possible, and the team does as well.
Perfect. I think that wraps up the questions.
Okay, thanks guys.
Are you ready to pass off to Dan?
All right.
Yes.
Easy here. Show my screen. Are we seeing the PowerPoint?
Yes, you are up and running.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate the time. I'll be brief here to wrap up. Dan Ridley. I'm a manager in our Hyland channel. I've been with Hyland for 12 years, exclusively in our partner community. And it's kind of funny, started with Kiriworks as an inside rep back 12 years ago, and have come full circle, starting to work with Bill, Greg, Christy, and team over the course of the last month with some realignment. So really excited to be speaking with you folks today. And Bill, I do want to correct you. You left off one significant accolade on there. Kiriworks has also been a multi-year running Diamond support partner. So
yeah,
that you're working with, a partner who provides outstanding support, outstanding services, and that's been a consistent hallmark of our partnership with Kiriworks over the years. So I had to add that one for you, Bill. So I'm here to talk about our customer briefing program, and really want to start with why is this important to you as a customer? Bill talked about it in the beginning. You saw all the stats being put out by KPMG in terms of CEOs really looking to leverage the investment that they have as part of their digital transformation strategy. And we're seeing that more than ever. I can tell you anecdotally at Hyland Software, we are really not looking to take on any new technology or any new vendors unless we can show a really quick ROI. I'm talking 6 to 12 months. What we are doing is looking at the tools that we have internally and how we can really maximize the use of those tools to really increase and allow for efficient productivity in this current landscape. Much like Kiriworks, much like all of you, I'm sure we are in the throttles of a remote environment and will be for some time. So we really want to bring to you some of the tools, the trends that Bill talked about, so that as an organization, you can look internally and say, what are some of the projects, what are some of the goals and initiatives that you folks have, and how can you leverage the existing Hyland platform that you own to maybe accomplish some of those? And then I kind of skipped over the middle one, but this is the most important part to us, is really allowing you to provide direct feedback to your partners, Kiriworks and Hyland. And historically at Hyland, we are always consider ourselves very customer-centric. We're very partner-centric. We are always there to support any initiative and effort that Kiriworks and you as a customer may bring to us. But we want to be much more proactive in those efforts, especially as the technology evolves, the Hyland technology stack evolves. There's a lot more for us to bring to the table to you as a customer to really allow you to leverage that investment and make you aware of. And so now let's talk a little bit real quickly about kind of what is a customer briefing, what are we covering off on. First, we're talking about what you as a customer are doing today. So that can be from a training perspective. You know, if you have certifications, we can review those. What version you're on. You know, is it time to look at upgrading because you can take advantage of new functionality that's out in a new version when you upgrade to foundations. Where are you using the tool today? And then also what's working well and what's not. We want to hear that feedback. We want to hear the opportunities that you see for us to say, hey, if you were able to do this, we'd be able to leverage the tool more. Or even if it's just digging into a specific issue. This is your time to speak to us. And you speak to Kiriworks on a regular basis. We speak to Kiriworks on a regular basis. We want to bring that unified front to you as a customer, to provide that voice to us as your partners so that we can continue to strive to provide you the excellent service support and then use of the tool that you expect out of us. We'll talk about industry trends. So Bill talked a little bit about it. What are we seeing across the other across our customer base for other customers who look like you, whether it's in your particular given industry? Bill talked a little bit about the cloud. We're seeing a significant uptick from our customers. The majority of our new deals, if not all of our new deals, are being deployed in the cloud, and we see a lot of the existing customer base migrating to our cloud as well. We know cloud is top of mind for just about everybody. Rapid application development, case management that was talked about earlier. Those are other big subjects that our customers are saying, tell us more about, because there's obvious areas of opportunity for us to leverage the tool on our digital transformation strategy that you're undergoing. And then future Hyland roadmap. I talked a little bit, the technology is evolving, our platform's evolving in a positive way. We want to make sure that you're up to date, not only on what we have, but what's coming in the future, so that you can align your goals and initiatives and projects to where we're going with our technology. So we really don't make this, we don't want this to be over salesy, or, we just want this to be very informative for you as a customer. And I can tell you, we've engaged in many of these across our customer base, and just about every single one of them has led to some sort of follow-up dialogue, whether it be about a project that you're working on with your partner, Kiriworks in this case, whether it be a support issue, or whether it be, hey, tell us more about this cloud thing, or tell us more about this tool that you have, because you see that as a way to further your internal goals where you're going on your digital transformation journey. So spit out a lot there, was trying to be brief, but I thank you all for the time. And I look forward to seeing all of you on a customer briefing or CommunityLIVE, or at some point here in the near future.
Dan, thanks very much. Let's circle back around right quick and let John finish up his presentation, since we lost him there for a minute.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me how to pass it over to John here, Chris.
There you go, John. I think you're up.
I didn't need to do it.
Perfect. Fingers crossed, we don't lose me again this time. I'll move right into the roadmap session. Again, real quick, obvious slide we need to show, essentially saying that these are roadmap items, right? These are, majority of them are in development. So, but these are what is on the Hyland roadmap that we have to look forward to. Real quickly, I want to explain, the direction of the user experience, Hyland strategy for helping you get applications deployed as quickly as possible, and then what they're doing to enable you to benefit from the latest architectural possibilities, right? So Hyland strategy overall is a shift from delivering all of that functionality that you're used to through a client to creating reusable components, to eventually updating an existing client interfaces and building persona-driven apps, right? What does that look like? Well, it looks like a combination of 3 components coming together. This is an example of that. So this is a specific application. You can see the search area above, context in the bottom left, and then, for example, the related document to the right. But what's even more important, and Greg talked about this with the new customer portal, this is all mobile. This is not in an app. So it is a purpose-built a web that will respond based on the individual device. So you're getting that same functionality, that similar look and feel across different platforms. Now, Hyland has already built out a large library of these components, but the first thing they're doing is modernizing some existing user interfaces with them, right? So I think a lot of folks are familiar with the combined viewer. Well, now that was originally released in the Unity client. Now we have the on-base combined viewer app. So it's the same concept, but now with a modern, lightweight look and feel via the web. And again, here it is on mobile. I want to stress again, this is not a mobile app. It's accessed through a URL, and it's web and mobile responsive. And what's really cool about this is it's already available on EP3, which is the latest version. So yet another good reason to upgrade. One I'm particularly excited about, special to me, is the WorkView client app. So this one's actually also available on the most recent version. So what this is going to allow Hyland to do is add new features faster and easier to the different client apps, in this case, WorkView. Special note on this is the very first release, so you have all of that functionality. If you have a more advanced WorkView application, please reach out to us. We'll walk through. There are some features that are not readily available in Europe, but they will be soon. And then lastly, persona-driven apps. So I'm going to go through these really quickly here, but AP invoice approval. I would venture to guess that there's at least a handful of folks that are involved with some type of role similar to this on this session. So this is a nice visual overview of outstanding invoices, historical invoice tiles, critical items in the top right, and then how it's delivering these in a way that is easiest for the end user, right? This one's showing to the approvers invoices due within 5 days. So what are the key takeaways? Hyland's going for a modern user experience, right? The first apps are already available, and the best way to get your hands on them is to upgrade. Now going to actually the building of solutions. So not a new concept for Hyland. They've always strived to build their product with as little reliance on custom code as possible. And that's the same for the future, right? So how are they doing it? They're adding those tools already available by creating web-based systems, which will add an entire range of administrative and dev tools so that you can build your own applications, right? And then there's two aspects to it, right? The first one is the app builder. So this is where you're going to have access to an entire library of UI components, whether it be the document viewer tied to the keyword panel or WorkView panel tied to Unity forms. The combinations are going to be endless. And then the second aspect of that is going to be the App Store. So this is where you'll have access to those apps, whether they were developed by Hyland, they were developed by their partners like Kiriworks, or even apps others or yourselves in the Hyland community have created and shared out, right? Some more key takeaways on the building portion is low code configuration remains to be a central part of Hyland's strategy, right? And the new web-based app ecosystem will allow you to quickly meet the needs of your organization, right? Give you the ability to adapt to changing circumstances, and obviously COVID is a big one. Everyone's working from home. We need access remotely. This is going to enhance that for everyone. And then lastly, enhancing solutions. So it's essentially being done in 3 ways: cloud apps, microservices that will work with all the Hyland apps, and also modern standards to existing products so that you can take full advantage of those new cloud apps and services. So those new cloud apps will connect and add value to your existing solution. The first one I want to highlight just quickly is the new Hyland Experience Capture, which is actually scheduled for release later this quarter. So this is web-based scanning, right? And we were lucky enough to get a sneak preview a little bit ago, and it's really cool. You get all of the awesome indexing features that the Unity client provides, like rubber banding, click to index, type ahead. And one of the concerns from me was performance. So I asked the developers, how does this affect performance? and they let me know they're testing 500-page batches at 60 pages per minute without really any lag too. So this is another one that I'm particularly excited about. Next up are those agnostic microservices. So think text messaging, brokers, think email, print, AI, machine learning, all of which will add capabilities to your solutions as they become available within the Experience platform. Lastly is the foundation strategy. So all Hyland products are going to benefit from an increased frequency of releases, your EP1, 2, 3 so far, and in the near future, EP4. An updated user experience that's more modern, and a growing library, a very fast growing library of REST APIs. So lastly, the last little bit of takeaways, the roadmap for Hyland is obviously cloud-based apps and services. And again, to get access to those latest features, make sure you're on the most recent version of OnBase. And obviously, if you're already in the Hyland cloud or you want to be in the cloud, you'll be the first one and get the fastest access to those new capabilities. So I went a little bit over, but that was the last little bit that I got cut off from earlier, Christy.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you wrapping that up. And thanks, everyone, for hanging with us as we went over a few minutes here. If you have any questions about anything that was presented today, by all means, reach out to your account executive, or you can always chat with Greg or John directly. Look forward to some cool things coming down the pipe, and also looking forward to connecting with everybody at CommunityLIVE if you're able to join us. So thanks again for hanging with us today. We appreciate your time, and we will talk with everyone again soon.